All right, guys, we are on our last example, okay? Yay, the end of 9.3. So the last example of 9.3. Example 5, find the complex fourth root, okay, of -1 plus radical 3i. So earlier, we are going to talk about what to do when you're asked to find the fourth root. First, I would like for you to rewrite this in polar form. In polar form, I'm gonna always kind of do a little plot to see what quadrant this is in. X is negative, so I'm gonna go left. Y is positive, so this is in quadrant number 2, okay? The reason I wanna do that is because when I'm looking for theta, I need to know whether I need to add 180 degrees or not, okay? In quad 2 and 3, you always add 180 degrees. So first I need to find R. So R equals square root of x squared. So x is -1. -1 squared is 1. Plus y is rad 3. So rad 3 squared is now just 3. So radius is 2. Theta equals tangent inverse of y. Y is rad 3. X is -1. Now, the reason you're going to have an answer, if you put this in your calculator is going to give you an answer in quad 4. So this is why we need to add 180 degrees. So from memory, you should know what tangent of a negative rad 3 is, right? That's going to be a -60 degrees. -60 degrees is going to give you, add 180, I meant, is now 120. So we have to keep the positive angle. So what do we do with this? We are now going to use it, of course, okay? So the polar form is, so they give you -1 plus rad 3i. We are now going to have the radius on the outside. And then we're going to write cosine 120 plus I sine of 120 degrees. Okay, so that's a polar form. To find a complex root, okay, I'm going to give you a formula. Okay, and yes, you do need to know this formula. Here we go. Fancy formula, scary looking formula. So k of z equals, okay, I'm looking for the fourth root. Okay, if you don't remember, let me just zoom back up. Okay, so finding the complex root, okay, we're going to use this formula right there. Okay, nth is your root, so if we're looking for the fourth root, so that's going to be fourth root of r. Okay, then we're going to divide everything by 4. So that's what we're doing. And once you get more practice, it's going to be a lot better. So it's always going to be a little bit scary when you listen to it or just see it for the very first time. So the fourth root, okay, let me write down the formula first, and then we'll work on it. So cosine of theta sub 0 divided by n. We're going to be in degrees, so I'm just going to use 360 degree k divided by n. So that's for the cosine, and we would just repeat that for the sine. So plus 360 degrees k divided by n, and then that's the formula. So to use the formula, we now plug in z of k equals fourth root of 2, because that's what the radius is. Okay. Then cosine, your theta, it's 120 degrees, divided by, you're looking for the fourth root, so n is 4, plus 360 degrees divided by 4 times k. Okay, and then do the same thing for sine. So I sine of 120 degrees divided by 4 plus 360 degrees divided by 4 times k. Now I'm writing everything out, okay? Now if you feel the need to skip some and still able to successfully do well on the test, hey, more power to you. So let's simplify this out. So z of k equals fourth root of 2. The whole point of taking notes is for you, okay? If you write enough where you know what to do on the homework, then that's all you need. But if you're like me and need to see everything, then write it all out. 120 divided by 4 is cosine of now 30 degrees plus 360 degrees divided by 4 is now 90k, and box that up because that goes together. And then same thing for sine. So I sine of 30 degrees plus 90 degrees k. Now what if I ask you to find the fifth root? Then, you know, do the fifth root of the radius and divide everything by 5. So let's do the first root. First root, remember we're starting at 0, okay? So z of 0 equals fourth root of r. That stays the same, okay? Cosine. Every time you see a k, you now have to put in 0 because k is 0 for the first root. Cosine of 30 degrees plus 90 times 0. Keep that in mind. Okay. Yes, I'm writing everything out, and then down the line, maybe I'll skip a little bit. But right now, I want to show you why 0 is being plugged in for every k. It's plugging in every k because k is 0 for first root. That is correct. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply it out. So my first root is 0 times anything is 0. Okay, so this one, my first root, I will get a square root, not square root, I'm sorry, fourth root of 2, just cosine of 30 degrees plus I sine of 30 degrees. And we're going to leave it just like that. Okay, that is your first root. All done. Ooh, why did I cross it out? I meant to highlight that. Oh, okay. There you go. So highlight that up. Second root, different color so we can see it. Second root, okay, I would now start with z of 1. That means k is 1. So this is fourth still. Your radius is 2. Is cosine 30 degrees plus 90 degrees times k. K is 1 right here. So I'm going to plug in 1 for k. So now I sine, and then same exact thing over here. Okay. Now 90 times 1 is 90. So I'm just really adding 90 for each root here on out. And on the third root and fourth root, I'm not going to multiply anymore. I'm just going to show you that I'm going to add 90, okay? So my second root is fourth root of the radius. Cosine 30 plus 90 is now 120 times sine, I sine of 120. So that is my second root. Okay. All of these are the answers. So it's looking for the complex fourth roots. Okay. So we're going to find 4 roots of the fourth root. Next, different color maybe, just to see it better. So third root, okay, that one was z of 2. And because I can see that I'm just adding 90 each and every time, then that's what I would do. So cosine of 120 plus 90 is now cosine of 210 degrees. And you can just see the pattern that, hey, I can keep on going and going, right? Like, so that's that, and that is my fourth root. Whee! And then my fifth root, so here's my last root. I'm sorry, my fourth root is the last one that I'm looking for. So z of 3 equals fourth index of the radius. I'm just going to add 90 to it. So cosine of 300 degrees plus I sine of 300 degrees. Okay, and that is my complex fourth root. So 4 complex fourth roots are those. Okay, so these are the 4 complex fourth roots. Okay, and then you have to find them all. All right, guys, that is the end of 9.3. If you didn't understand the previous notes, okay, they are on YouTube, so please do go and find them so you have a better understanding of them, especially if you're listening to it the second time around. Have a wonderful day.